But I feel like Trump did it the right way. Like, hey, these are NFTs. This is bullshit. I'm selling you a registration that you paid this. I'm selling you receipts, essentially.
Yeah.
For the things you're buying. And everyone knows that's what they're buying. There's no scam. There's no rug to pull. There's no, like, Trump didn't say anytime you want to cash it in, I'll give you your money back. He said
the Trump one is almost different. Like, Trump was so fucking late to the NFT thing that by the time it came out, everyone was roundly mocking that. Like, most people mocked it the whole time.
Sold out
like,
instantly.
Early,
second round did too.
Sold out instantly, but like,
Second
if you
round did
remember
too.
the early NFT shit, the way it was presented by all these influencers and people was like, this monkey face with a pirate hat. Oh, I just got in at the ground level for 300K. You fucking idiots. Do you have any idea what this will be worth? I wouldn't sell this to you for $1 million right now. I would. Like,
and I tell you what's going to
happen. And it's just totally misleading bullshit trying to manipulate. Dude, if you like go on the rabbit hole of like the crypto accounts on Twitter, like the incestuousness, like the behind the scenes, like pumping stuff. And like so many of these people don't like they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Like,
I haven't looked at it for a month, and I want to say Trump robbed the people who support him, but the truth is, at least a month ago, they made money. Those things went up. So I don't know where they are.
He did
right
a second round of them, and those sold out as well.
How long
look
was
any
the
better?
gap?
Bro, when did all this come out?
Significant. The second round came out a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, shit. When did the first one come out?
months ago. Yeah.
4 months ago, let's say.
Damn, but this is how dead NFTs are. I didn't even hear about it. And you'd think,
well, his were so silly. Let me tell you this, Zach.
Funny.
Show us some of the images. You can't. These are the worst I've seen. I remember when the first ones came out. Not only not understanding it because it's. I feel like the NFT thing. They do this thing where they're like, yeah, we've got this cool thing. Only smart people understand it though. It's so cool. It makes money and everybody gets rich, but only the smart people can get in on it. And you're like, I'm smart. Whoa, well, let me explain it to you then. I'm sure it won't go over your head. Let me know if any of it goes over your head and you're a big dumb pori. So here's how it works. And you're like, I'm not a dumb pori. I'm on board. All right, 100,000, please. Here's your teddy bear. A real one? Nope. A picture of one. A well-drawn picture? Nope.
So you're saying I own the picture? No, you don't.
Not
own
at
the
all.
picture. What you own is a receipt for this picture. And I'm like, does that mean that no one else can use the picture? That I own it? That I have rights to it? You have nothing but proof that you paid for this picture. It's a flex. Like,
you know what? These would actually be sick as a physical trading card.
I know, like Magic the Gathering cards.
Oh my god!
My god!
Trump the Gathering, and it's all him with different stats and attack values.
Capitalism, the Gathering with Emperor Donald Trump.
Yeah, you're gonna love it. It's like magic, but it's not gay. It's all me. Like that's what he would. You
could play your fucking hush money card.
I love that one. the one you're on with him in that big overcoat, standing there like a cowboy. That's.
It's like he's gonna sell you some drugs. Or something.
look at the smirk. The little
Taylor, I play sexual assault accuse.
I play ignore.
I can't read those numbers. How much is this selling for?
I counter it.
I play Don Lemon coverage that counters the ignore.
I play racism.
You can't beat that Trump card.
Can't be taken down. Yeah,
there'd be one Trump card. That'd be the thing, and it would just get you out of whatever trouble you were in. It'd be like Monopoly, except with lots of hush money and sex.
Have you guys
there's
followed
only
his
two
rape
teams.
trial at all? It's going on right now.
Rape trial, huh? I don't.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a he said she said, regardless of what that Reddit article said. The Reddit article said it's not he said she said.
I didn't see
it
the Reddit
is.
article you're talking about.
I'm just saying, like I think it's going to be a he said she said thing, and there's going to be nothing again.
So
like
she's
always.
got this.
It's all about the he said.
She has two other people who say that he got them too. She wrote about it, I guess, way back when it happened, and she has a dress supposedly with his semen on it that anytime he could commit, like, do a DNA test and get himself out of this, prove that it wasn't him, but he's not doing that.
Yeah,
So
Mr. President, go down there, come in a cup, do it for us, or else.
I don't know if you need to do
us.
cum. Can you not get it from like saliva?
Sure, you could, but that's how I'd spin it in my media room.
So
They're trying to get the president down there to jerk off. These Democrats are pedophiles.
I won't do it. I'm not going to.
Dude's in his upper 70s. He can't. Yeah, we'll
can.
see
They
where
can
this
use them
goes. In any case, regardless, it's not a good look to to be having a rape trial. We'll see if it hurts him.
Come on, you know it's not gonna hurt him.
You don't think?
Who's the voter out there? Who's the voter out there?
Dude, it does hurt him. It's
Oh, no.
always like this.
Not Donald.
What's
Like,
he doing though? What is
there
he doing?
are
What does it hurt him?
sycophants who will vote for Donald if he shoots someone on Fifth Avenue. That much is
Yeah,
true. He's not going to
it's true.
lose 25, 30% of the country. But when he needs to actually win an election, defending yourself against rape allegations is bad.
I mean, bro, like, don't you remember when he won the first time? It was like the thing came out about like grab her by the pussy and all that.
Yeah.
Days before the election. Yeah, that was bad. But they immediately changed this story to we're investigating Hillary Clinton for her emails. That's what happened. Comey came out, said, you know what? We are indeed investigating Hillary for her emails. Took all the wind out of the sails out of the Access Hollywood bust tape.
Yeah, he's a good politician.
And that's not true. He's a bad politician.
You just gave a great example of it.
Kyle's right.
He
He's
didn't
among
do
the
it.
best.
He didn't influence Comey to release that information somehow.
True. He
certainly
did
did.
not influence Comey. He wasn't president. He was the citizen at the time.
Why did he do
What
it then?
happened
Why
was
would Comey
had
railroad?
He explained it. What happened was they had talked about Hillary being under investigation, and she wasn't. And Comey felt obligated to be like, she's not under investigation. And then she was. And he's like, I didn't see a good answer. I didn't see it all. Like, what am I supposed to do? Let the original thing stand when it wasn't true, or say now she's under investigation? And he felt like he didn't have a good choice.
Makes sense. Goodness. Well, I don't think he's going to lose a single vote because of some silly rape trial. I saw Jon Stewart covering sort of the entire media. He skips to 8 different people throughout the fucking media, and the reaction to his Stormy Daniels trial, and they've all given up already. They've already given up. They're like, it's really just a big nothing. Just a really big nothing. And like everyone's saying that. This is what's going to happen every single time because no one has enough attention for legal matters. No one fucking cares enough because it's about accounts and money moving around. No one cares. No one cares. He's Donald Trump. That's what they care about. There's no voter out there who is. He might, but he won't lose a single vote because of this rape thing.
That's not true. He's going to lose tons of votes, just not MAGA sycophant votes. MAGA sycophant votes will vote for him through anything. He thinks God, Emperor Trump is going to win and that nothing he does is wrong. But there are reasonable people out there who are like, fuck, how many trials and rape accusations? He's got 24 rape accusations at this point. This is bad.
I disagree. I don't think that anyone has held on through the first 15 or 20 rape accusations, and now this is the one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this is not. You're making this out to be the final straw, but it's no more of a big deal than any of the things that came before. It seems like another.
I don't actually think it's the final straw. I think it adds up. I think that whether
that's what the final straw means, though.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be the final one, right? After this comes the Georgia election tampering thing. And after that comes something else.
Okay.
So people who are trying to pick a president, not people who've already picked their president, but people who are deciding, look at this stuff and it hurts him.
I disagree. I don't think
you're
anyone cares about all that stuff. I think they care more about the.
Woody, I think you're thinking that Americans are smarter than they actually are. I think the majority of Americans do not think like that.
I think they're mad about the economy and the war. I think they care about gasoline and inflation. Yeah. I think they might want that
down. Inflation's down. Unemployment's down. What's the economy?
I mean, the economy is not good. The consumer price index is horrible. The unemployment is down because the entire economy was destroyed for 2 years, and we're just now kind of catching back up. Like, of course, like tons of people lost their jobs. Oh yeah, for 2 years, lockdowns, tons of people lost their jobs, huge dip in labor participation, and now we're seeing a natural incline with everything being open for the last year and a half. Like average cost of commodities, as far as how much people are making, has risen dramatically. Energy is more expensive, food's more expensive, cost of living has gone up.
We're on the verge of World War III.
The economy is the number one issue. Like at times like this, the average person is worried about like their financial future. Like they aren't even like plugged into like some little drama thing at times.
Also, if we're going to like dig up drama, Trump was right about COVID the whole time and the left was lying to us. Like that's what we found out, that they were constantly lying. I'm talking about Comey, not Comey, Fauci.
What lie?
Well, he went back and forth about the mask thing, whether we needed the masks or we didn't. At one point, he was lying so that people wouldn't scoop them up because he wanted certain people to have them.
That's true.
It was completely mishandled, and the way they lied about they made this whole thing about China an issue, where Trump was this big stupid racist, and anybody who thought that China had anything bad to do with it, sweet China. You think sweet China would cook up a virus in a lab? No.
That's what Trump was saying. Trump was saying that the leader was doing an outstanding job, that they had it under full control. He mishandled it.
It's called the China virus, the Chinese virus. You know, he was going off about that stuff early on, and they were mocking it
dozens of times.
I'm sure there was a situation where he was in front of cameras, and they asked him a pointed question where, yes, and you wanted him to attack the leader of China publicly about
you
this.
Just gave him credit for attacking the leader of China publicly.
No, I didn't.
He's trying to have it both ways.
I don't think that's what Kyle's saying.
No, not at all.
No.
I was saying that Trump was out front saying, this is a Chinese virus. This came from there. That's why I call it that. And it may have come from a lab or from one of these crazy wet markets. He wasn't pointing out Xi Jinping or whatever that guy's fucking name is. There was no reason to do that. And if an international news reporter asks you something about your opinion about the leader of China, you better not say anything stupid, because you're going to be in a room with that man. And it's our biggest trading partner, right, in the world.
Yeah,
it's a strategic opponent. We've got an issue with Taiwan. We want to know the South China Sea stuff, where they're stealing those islands. Maybe don't aggravate.
Was he hard on China or easy on China? I'm trying to figure out what your point is.
He at the time like COVID started, he was the one who was like banging the drum, being like, it's a Chinese virus, it's from China, immediately we need to close our borders, nobody allowed in. And he was roundly mocked as a racist xenophobe, like, oh, you're crazy, wow, you're afraid of this, like, oh, like. And
he also said China's been working hard to contain the coronavirus. The United States greatly appreciates their efforts and China's transparency. It will all work out well. In particular, on behalf of America, I want to thank President Xi.
Yeah, that's like
it's a good statement.
PR. That's like a way that you're trying to
mitigate. He could do no wrong in the sycophant's eyes. He can
this
say
is not a sycophant thing, dude. This is like,
and then he can say they did a great job. And in both cases, he's just wonderful.
Like,
I'm not seeing the nuance.
The nuance of you have to maintain proper relations with a geopolitical semi-ally, semi-opponent, largest trade partner. You can't go put their president on blast. It's a very bad look. At the same time,
was it a bad look when he called it the Kung flu? Was it a bad look when he called it the China virus? Like he's doing both, and in both cases, he's right.
In a way, yes. He is critiquing China as an entity.
It's as if he could do no wrong, right?
Should he pick up? There's a difference between talking about China abstractly and zeroing in on the president and leader of that country. There's a huge difference. One is taken personally, the other is not. One can't be ignored, the other can.
He was doing name calling, right? And he was gaslighting America with regards to how severe this coronavirus was going to be. And it seems like when he says it's no big deal, you praise him for his leadership. When he says it's a big deal, you praise him for his leadership. That there's nothing he's done in regard to handling COVID that you guys have any problem with. And he actually handled it pretty poorly.
I don't think we're talking at all about the entire handling of COVID. We're talking about how he communicated on the PR side to Americans, and also framing to Xi Jinping or whatever the fuck you say it. Like, there is a difference between saying this is Xi Jinping, he's a bad guy, he's an evil guy, like, and saying, it's coming from China, they're doing whatever they can to stop it over there. We appraise them for trying to stop it, but it's coming from China. It's a Chinese virus, folks. Like, that is what was said. And that's how it was like, that is the framing of it. Very different.
He would go back and forth between blaming China and praising China. And that's an inconsistent message. That kind of flip-flopping would burn most politicians. But with Trump, it's all baked into the cake.
I loved that he always maintained that respect and a little bit of compliment for whenever any world leader was brought up. What do you think about Vladimir Putin? He's a smart guy. Well, you can't disagree with him. He is a smart guy, right? Mm-hmm. What are you going to say? I think he's a murderer. how's our next negotiation going to go with Vladimir Putin? Well, like, imagine, put yourself in Vladimir Putin's shoes, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you hear that, you're like, you know, I bet Donald thinks poorly of me. But they asked him that question to pit us against one another. You know how this is with YouTube, right? Someone will be like, hey, what do you think about wings? Well, let me measure my answer before I give this. You know what I mean?
He was always kind to Putin, to China, to Kim Jong Un, but he wasn't so kind to like the leader of Germany, Merkel. He wasn't so kind to the leader of France. He wasn't so kind to the leader of Japan. He wasn't so kind to the leader of Canada.
Be scared of them.
Because he doesn't. Yeah. We have to be scared of these other people.
Yes.
It seemed like he was.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
he treated his friends
and kill us all,
and his enemies well, and I always thought it was weak.
He kicked his friends in the ass. Remember, his problem with Merkel is they weren't paying their percentage of the money to the UN, and he was wanting them to get energy independent from Russia, and they were laughing at him.
Yeah.
He had legitimate beef with our allies. Canada said recently that they'll never meet their percentage of the defense budget for the UN, whatever that is, the EU.
He had a good point.
UN.
He had a good point. I think it was NATO, but I'm not positive. I think it was.
It could probably is
paying to NATO. But yeah, so what it was, they were supposed to pay a certain percentage of the GDP, and they never did. But America did. So it kind of seemed like we were paying for all the military and nobody else was. And he had a good point. I just didn't like that in general. He was harsh to his friends and kind to his enemies. Thought it was weak.
I think you only make peace with enemies. I like that little idea. Yeah. And I remember that Kim Jong-un didn't know that Donald had said that stuff about him when they met. And they said, yeah, he called you the little Rocket Man. And he goes, haha, Rocket Man's okay, but not little. like that guy didn't know anything about Twitter. See, Trump is scoring all those points on Twitter, like trashing them. And then he can get on the phone with the guy. And I think they can be cool and maybe they didn't get anything done. It didn't seem. But at least he tried. I appreciated the effort. I just think if you're going to have to negotiate with someone like Vladimir Putin, it's in no one's best interest for the president to be the one out there calling him awful things. He should be calling him a smart guy, a worthy adversary, perhaps, something like that. But he shouldn't be calling him, you know, the butcher of whatever the fuck, or the murderer of who was it, and the KGB agent of 20 years. You let someone at a lower level who puts that stuff out for the White House, a senior administrator told us today that sort of thing. The president needs to be able to go in a room with these people eventually and speak for all of us for things that matter.
It never came off as that sophisticated to me. It came off as he just liked Putin. He liked that Putin was an autocrat, and he seemed to like all the autocrats.